I had to record this. I had to record the joy I'm feeling, the genuine power of the Lord. Guys, I've read a lot of the Bible. I haven't finished the whole thing yet, and I know some of you guys might think that's kind of crazy considering I've been of faith for a couple years, but when I tell you guys, I'm the type of person that I need to hear something over and over and over again to get it through my head. And I feel like the Lord, because for the longest time I felt bad. I was like, Lord, I don't know everything yet. And he told me you never will. Heavenly Father, King of all kings, Lord Jesus, Father God, I pray for the paramedics in the ambulance, Lord. I pray for their safety, and I pray for the patient they are going to tend to, Lord. Thank you so much for giving them the call that they needed to follow through with their work plans, Lord. I pray for the person's recovery, their healing, and I pray that you're watching over them during this time. Amen. You know what that siren was about? A lot of people feel like sirens are a form of confirmation, right? And I guess in a way it kind of is from the Lord. How loud that siren was, I feel like that was his way of because he knew I was filming this video, for you guys to understand the lengths the Lord will go to tend to us and how urgently he will come to you and be your refuge and heal you and help you. And guys, I have to record this because my hair is wet right now. I'm in the hot tub, and I need to tell you guys the story time. That's going to be controversial, and he knows it, but he wants me to post it anyway because I said, Lord, what happened wasn't traditional, and he said, neither was I. I've been of faith for 2 years. Well over 2 years. We're going on to the 3rd year, which is so interesting. Threes. The Lord operates in threes. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. And, it's like there's morning, noon, and night. And threes, once again. Sorry if I'm all over the place. People that are of faith, people that aren't of faith, they're going to watch this video and they're going to think, she is off her rocker. She doesn't get it. The Lord doesn't want me to care about that anymore. He wants me to not care about it. And just people that want to listen will listen. The people that are meant to listen will listen. And just know that you have access to Jesus any time of the day. At any moment, you have access to him. And what I'm going to tell you isn't traditional, and this is going to blow your mind. He blew mine. I had a beautiful day with my mom and her friends. Her friends are visiting from out of town, and these are a group, and my mom included, a group of very strong women that I don't know if they share the same beliefs as me, but when I tell you guys, I truly believe that there are people that roam the earth that are Christ-like without knowing it, that might not know of the Lord yet, but they act God-like, they stand upright. And this group of women I got to spend the day with was a prime example of that. And when I tell you, I faced the odds today. So many breakthroughs spiritually, and there's been so much happening in the world lately. There has been so much hate, so much violence happening. Things have gotten too political and too worldly, not godly. And that rumble, guys, right now I can't even tell you. The Lord is moving, okay, moving. So back to what I was saying, because I don't want to lose my train of thought. I had a beautiful day with these women, and as you guys know, I have been struggling with my chronic illness for the past couple years. It's been rough, and I've known the Lord for about 3 years, like I stated. And there's a specific book the Lord has been telling me to read, and it was the book Jeremiah. okay? He's been telling me to read. I've seen passages here and there posted, okay? But I have not read this book through and through. I haven't even read the first chapter all the way through of this book. He has been telling me to read this since the moment I knew the Lord's name, okay? He's been wanting me to read this book. And for some reason, there was something in my flesh. Clearly, it wasn't my spirit. It was in my flesh. I just didn't read this book. And I've read so many different books in the Bible. Okay, but the Lord, I wasn't meant to until tonight. Until tonight, I was not meant to open the first chapter of Jeremiah, okay? There was a specific death that really hit home for me. And the reason for that isn't for the reasons people would think. It wasn't for the reasons because I absolutely stood by every single opinion this man had. And the person I'm referring to is Charlie Kirk. I will say his name and I will say it loudly. Charlie Kirk. I will not feel bad talking about this man. I will not feel bad posting videos about this man, because whether you liked the man or not, and whether or not you agreed or disagreed with the things he said, this man talked about Jesus. He talked about God. And people that talk about the Lord and talk about Jesus, they can sit at my table. I stand firm on that. There are things that he has said that I didn't fully get behind. But when I tell you there were some things that that man spoke, some light that he brought into the world, some wisdom he brought to groups of people, I absolutely could get behind that. I could listen to what he said. But I'm the type of person where someone doesn't become a write-off if I don't like what they have to say. I don't write somebody off because they don't fully agree with what I think and what I feel and what I believe in. Because there's some things that people have to offer that you won't even, your mind won't even expand that far because you won't even hear them out. And when I tell you this man's death, it wasn't just because he was a man of faith. I've seen so many people make posts. Guys, oh man, the Lord wanted me to make this video. I've seen so many posts today because this is the next day. This happened yesterday. It is September 11th, today. And man, so many things. People have, of course, been talking about 9/11 today, as they should. People have been talking about the wars happening all over the world, all of the violence taking place. People are talking about these horrific things and saying things to people like me. Where was this energy when this started happening? Why are you only saying something when this guy got assassinated? Aren't you grateful people are saying anything at all? You need to understand and trust in your heart that the people that are speaking about Charlie Kirk and how he was brutally annihilated in front of his whole family, you have to understand that the people that are speaking up about it, what's happening between Israel and Palestine and any other wars in the past, any type of war crime, any type of violence that has happened, do you think that the people that are posting videos about it, ride for a specific side? Do you really think in your heart that the idea of mass amounts of human beings that had a life and family of their own, them dying, you think that people are genuinely okay with that? I made a poem the day Charlie Kirk passed away. I felt compelled to make a poem speaking exactly how I felt because I had so many feelings and I had to put it in a form of art because that's what I do. But today I have so much certainty, so much clarity with exactly where we stand as human beings, okay? Politics aside, I can hear so many different things that what the people say, what the general public say. People say, well, you need to understand, Megan, that politics is what makes the world go round. No, it's not. What if I told you, no, it's not? Politics is such a small part of what we are called to do. Politics wasn't in the Bible. If you don't believe in the Bible, that is your choice. Newsflash, the Lord gave us free will. So the Christians, the people that believe in Jesus Christ, the people that believe in God, that are sitting there forcing you to read it, forcing you to understand everything that's in it, forcing you to understand you to even believe who Jesus is. I hate to break it to you, but those people are technically in their own faith, they're trying to help. Because in their own eyes and their own faith, this isn't just a book that you read and you put down. This is a book. I do a lot of reading. Tell me why this is the only book I gravitate towards anymore. Tell me why there is something new I can find in this book every single time I read it. But the people that also told you about the Lord in a way that wasn't godlike, because keep in mind, the Lord is blunt. The Lord would tell it how it is, but the Lord is kind. The Lord is humble. The Lord is honest. Anything, and you guys have to understand, there is light and there is darkness. There is good, there is evil. When you go to a movie, there's a hero and a villain. Whose side are you on? The Lord doesn't commit murder. The Lord isn't violent. The Lord doesn't lie. The Lord, all of the things that you hate about this world, trust me, all the things you hate, people that lie, people that wish death upon others, war and suffering, and it's so crazy. I can't believe, why would the Lord allow this? You think he did this? You need to start believing in the other one. Trust me, because when you do, your eyes will be opened and you will not be able to close them. I am so serious. I am so beyond serious. And I'm at a point in my faith where I don't care. If you're still listening to this video, clearly there's something in your heart that's telling you to keep listening. There's something, if you're still taking the time to listen to me, yeah, you could be listening to me and you might end up mocking me in the comment section and flaming me. You might be like, oh my gosh, this chick is so dense, talking about this guy that doesn't exist and this fake book. And guys, I want you to know that the Lord understands why you'd think it's fake. It is a hard thing to grasp. It is someone that is of genuine faith. It is so hard to grasp the truth. You know the saying, the truth hurts? Yeah, the truth does hurt, doesn't it? It hurts, and it's hard to understand. It's hard to even believe. That's why people don't. That is why people don't. His death, Charlie Kirk, I'll say his name again. I want you guys to understand that it's not just because he was a man of faith, someone that was firm about his own beliefs, why people are talking about it. You need to understand the mass amounts of demonic, evil energy that's coming from this. And you know what? I can appreciate so many people also saying, yeah, but where was this energy when this happened and more happened? You know what? I agree. There's so many times where I see stuff online, right? That's happening all over the world. And I want you guys to know that my energy I don't feel more passionately about this, but this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Because he is someone that was of faith. And if you didn't believe his viewpoints on certain things, you need to know that there's people like me that I didn't fully believe everything that man said. I didn't. But there was some beauty he spoke about. There was some life he spoke into people that I did believe in. This hate, this absolute demonic, chaotic, rioting hate, I can't say it has to stop because it won't. It won't, but this is why there needs to be people like me that won't join in. I won't join in. I wasn't called to do that. You know, if you take the time to read the Bible, to really read it and get to know who the Lord is, Jesus, his character, like who he is on the inside, if you take the time to read about this man, you won't find something you don't like. I can't say that about any other book character I've read. This man was a sinless, flawless human being. I want to apologize on behalf of any other people of faith, fake faith, because you know what, guys? You need to know that Jesus himself, when he was here, there was false prophets. There were people claiming to know the Lord that didn't know his name at all. Understand this. When he was here, picture this. Jesus was like the physical... Hold on to this thought. God doesn't just talk the talk. He walks the walk, baby. That's what he does. He walks the walk, and that's what he did. In the flesh, came down here, and basically studied his own creation. He didn't need to come here, but he did, because he knew it was necessary. He loved us so much that he's like, He saw how corrupt the world was. He wanted to be a light in it before he left. He even defeated the odds. He rose from the dead. We are so quick to believe in any other thing that's like kind of hard to grasp. But when we think about someone being resurrected, I get it. I totally get it. You think there's no way. Explain this then. If there's no way that could happen, explain the evil that happens in the world. Do you genuinely think babies are born evil? Do you genuinely think babies that come from the mother's womb are demons? Or can you, as an adult, if you're watching this video and you're an adult, maybe you are a kid, maybe you are a child watching this video, and everyone's welcome to see this video. Everyone. If you have 2 feet and a heartbeat, you're more than welcome to see this video. What I was getting at was children and babies become evil when evil happens, when murder happens, when the unimaginable happens, guys. The unimaginable, anything demonic, because that's what it is, evil that you can think of that happens. We need to start separating that. Like, we need to separate that babies aren't born into this world evil. They are shaped that way from whether, and I'll prove to you guys that this is a spiritual war. This is an absolute spiritual war that we cannot see, okay? You know when you know somebody and maybe they had a really, really rough upbringing, really rough go at the start of their life, and maybe they start treating people unjustly, and they just aren't very kind, and you just think, they're so mean. But you know what? They had it rough. I get it. Do you think as a baby they were born being mean? Having it rough? Or would you say that it was the parents that raised them that had demons of their own, right? Like demons, because like I said, demons is pain, is suffering, is chaos, is anger, is evil. So that's why when you see a human being and you think, how can they do that? How are they abusing someone like that? I don't understand. We're not meant to. We're not built to. We weren't made to. That's why when you meet a baby, you see a baby, they aren't that way. That's why you see adults that way. That's why you see mass amounts of people doing wicked things. Not wicked good, wicked bad. Absolute craziness, because it's spiritual. It's not godly. And that is why it is so important to educate ourselves. That is why it's important to spread light into the world, to spread kindness in hopes to turn people's lives around before they make more demonic decisions, before more evil gets out of hand. This is why. And Charlie Kirk's life was taken. And I want you guys to know that the enemy took Charlie Kirk's life, but the Lord allowed it. And this is the question that we all are going to struggle with as human beings. No matter how advanced you are in your faith, you're going to have moments where you will question the Lord. You'll say, why? 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 It's like what I talked about with the mass amounts of people that have passed away over the years, guys. Wars, murders, any type of injustice. It doesn't make sense. And I want you to know that this situation with Charlie Kirk was the straw that broke the camel's back, not just because he was of faith, not because he believed in Jesus and spoke about him. Of course, you know, me being someone that believes in the Lord, someone else, when I see anyone have something horrible happen to them that truly believe in the Lord, of course it hits home to me. It does. But I need you guys to understand that the reason why so many people are speaking out is because the veil is being lifted from people's eyes, and you are seeing a clear divide between good and evil. It's not about what political party you're on. It's not about where you're from. It's not about your skin color, okay? Your skin color, might I add, you know what blows my mind, and I want you guys to know, racism is sick. Racism is demonic. Racism is of Satan. Racism is not of the Lord. And if I see more comments online talking about the Bible, bringing the Lord somehow into racism, I'll never understand. Tell me why the Lord, the Creator, who created people in life to look different, no matter how you sound, what you look like, where you're from, where you come from, He is truly your dad. He's your dad through and through. He would vouch for you. He would protect you. He would love you as if you're His own. But there's not an if. You just are. You are His own. So I want you guys to understand that the things that upset you in the world hunger, homelessness, racism, like so many things, lack of world peace, war, any injustice you can think of, rape, murder, like I said, war, murder, violence, like seriously, any type of darkness, demonic crap you can think of, that is not of the kingdom of heaven. That is of the kingdom of hell. That is not godly. It is not. And that is why you have that heavy feeling on the inside where you look around at the earth, because we live in a beautiful place. You look around and you think, wow, it is gorgeous. And you feel this heaviness on the inside. You think, but why is it so messed up? It's so beautiful, but why? Why is it so messed up? Why is it like this? I don't understand. We're not built to. The reason why it's so beautiful and everything works in harmony and the sky is blue and the ocean's gorgeous and the animals roam in their own, there's a divine beauty. And you know why? God crafted everything. It didn't just happen. It was beautifully designed. But the reason why the world sucks right now is because it is corrupt. There is fallen angels running amok that we can't see. There is evil. There is demonic beings. There is the enemy here causing pain and suffering on God's people because He's angry at the Lord. He is so angry. So the more we are angry at each other, the more we are letting Satan win. And you all need to understand, me included, because we can forget this sometimes. Not one of the last things Jesus said while He was here, but he did say, most importantly, above all of the Lord's commands, love one another. Love one another. Do you think letting a political belief or reform shape how you treat somebody is doing that? Do you think revolving your whole life and mind and brain and everything around governments and do you think that that's what we're built to do? Or do you think we're built to help someone walk across the street if they need it? Do you think we're built to, do you think we're even built to even witness the evil that is happening? That is going on? Absolutely not. So just know, if you are watching this video and you're wondering, why are people yapping about him? I don't get it. Let me help you understand. It's not because he is a man of faith and was a God-fearing man. Yes, he had a wife and children, and it's disgusting. If you don't agree that what happened to him is disturbing, disgusting, and demonic, you really are lost. And the Lord knows it too. But there is absolutely hope for you. There absolutely is. But just know that if you have no remorse, because in your head, he didn't act the way you would have liked, so you're gonna just quite literally prey on his downfall, be okay with how he went out. You have a lot of praying to do, because you need to understand that isn't human. And if you feel that way, I'm clocking this to you guys because I love you. I love any one of you guys watching this video. I do. I genuinely do. I love anyone watching this video. I love the people that are going to watch this video and they are going to be so angry and so, because they're caught up in their own opinions and beliefs and where the world's at. Why don't we start being angry at the real problem? The real problem. No, it's not money. Money doesn't help. Money doesn't help. Money can be demonic. That's a whole other topic for another video. Money isn't the problem. People aren't the problem. The enemy is. Babies aren't born evil. You know what? One of the many things being a faith that brings me relief is I know if someone hurts me, I don't stay up at night and I wonder, I can't believe as a human being, how could they do this? I think they might not even be there. There is so much more than what meets the eye. So much more, guys. And I want you guys to know that this is bigger than what you realize. So much bigger. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. The veil has been lifted. You are seeing people with a head on their shoulders that whether you like someone or not, what happened, of course it makes you sad. It's like what I stated before. I'll say it again. Like the wars that have happened, like the violence that is happening, any form of murder, mass amounts, or one human being doesn't make it any easier, doesn't make it any better, nobody should be rejoicing. Nobody. And the sooner that we can all get on the same page, give our heads a shake. Give our heads a shake. Get a grip. Get a genuine human grip. We should be, if we are going to do one thing while we're on this spinning rock, let it be this. Not only love one another, but be light. Speak truth. And you know what? If my truth doesn't line up with your truth, that is absolutely okay. But does that mean I'm going to speak my truth any quieter to make you comfortable? No. It's not. But you know what? I should hope the same from you. If you have a belief and you said to me, you know what, Megan, this is my belief and I'm going to tell you how it is. This is how I feel. You know the type of person I am? I would hear you out all the way through and I wouldn't have to try to sell you on my belief. I would listen to you and I bet the Lord would even show me something beautiful about what you said. Because I bet there'd be something you'd say and I'd think, wow, I never thought of it that way. Because you know why? As human beings, we are meant to learn something from one another every single day. And that could easily happen. That could very easily happen with conversations like this. Debate or not, politics or not, where you come from or not, what you look like or not. Get the bigger picture. Get the biggest picture of all. When you can stop believing in coinky-dinks. Oh, what a coincidence. I can't believe that happened. Start believing it. I can't believe some of the beautiful things that happen either. And I also can't believe some of the wicked crap that I believe either. I can't believe it. And to touch more about what I said, I am very passionate about my beliefs. And you know why? The Lord didn't just show up for me once. The Lord chased me down when I was running away from everything, running away from all of it. I've been through a lot. There's been people that have been through way worse than me. I want anyone that's watching this video to understand I recognize my privilege. I recognize the ability to be able to be breathing, to be speaking. I understand I'm in a hot tub right now, but you know what? This couldn't wait. And this video isn't even done yet. I'm not going to edit anything out. I'm speaking my mind. We're about half an hour in. We're just getting started. I'm just kidding. We're not just getting started, but I'll tell you why I'm filming this. It's not because I'm in a bikini and I'm in the hot tub. I'm going to be honest. I feel uncomfortable I'm in a bikini, okay? I struggle with my own body issues. The Lord knows it too. I was even complaining about the color of this bathing suit because I didn't think it was that flattering to me. And here I am filming a video. You know why? Because the Lord said to me, Meg, there's bigger fish to fry, isn't there? I'm like, you're right, Lord. I've been obedient. I've just been obedient. I'm not less than. Like, everyone has space to be here. And I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. I haven't been physically baptized. I haven't. I have been baptized in the Spirit. That's what they talk about. They talk about that a lot in the Bible, and I will tell you in case you are confused about what I'm speaking of. So, being baptized in the Spirit is when there is a moment. There's a very specific moment when the Lord reveals himself to you. Whether it's a moment of you calling onto the Lord, whether you're in a moment of total distress and you feel this overwhelming peace, it can look like a lot of different things. But in that moment, you are changed for the better. You can't describe it, but you're like, wow, I feel like I can really see. I feel like I can really breathe again. I feel like I understand what is going on. Okay? That is called being baptized in the Spirit, because when Jesus was here, he often spoke to people that were believing in religion, okay, like believing the Father in heaven, but believing in religion. They felt like they, way back when there was a thing called Sabbath that people thought, they had to do. There were certain rules and regulations, temples they had to go to in order to connect to the Lord. That's what they did. That was their way of trying to connect to the Lord. When Jesus was here, you know what he did? He basically mic dropped to everybody and was like, there's going to come a time. You don't have to go to the synagogues and the temples and, really connect with the Lord just on the Sabbath. There's going to be a time where you have access to the Lord anywhere. He's in here. There's going to be a time when it is all finished and he's in here. And it's going to happen very soon. You know when that happened? And if you're still, like I said, if you're still watching this video, and if I still have your attention, I have full faith it's for a reason. Because I know the idea of Jesus, his story is like mind-blowing, and I get it. Like so many realists are like, how? I get it. I do. I sympathize with you. I get it. We've all been there. When you really look into things and you start reading more about his messages while he was here and what he did, that moment we were able to have access to the Lord in our hearts every single day. You know when that happened? When Jesus took his last breath and it was finished. Okay? And so with that being said, I never got physically baptized. I don't belong to a specific church. I don't belong to a specific group that I go to. This is somebody who never grew up in a religious household. I never grew up with the Lord being in my life. I was always in the Lord's life, but he was never in mine. Okay, so I'm not speaking bias to someone who grew up being around the Lord. And I grew up around people that didn't really want to get to know the Lord, didn't care to know the Lord, whatever. I was never against it, but I was never for it. I didn't know. So with all of this being said, right, I remember saying to the Lord, because there's been times I've gone to churches a couple times because you know what, the Lord will call me to, but I haven't found the right fit yet. And I remember saying to the Lord about baptism, I said, Lord, so I see a lot of Christians doing this, and I know that it's a beautiful thing that people do, and some people, if they feel called to do it in their spirit, they do it, and I fully respect that, and I am fully supportive of that. But in that moment on my walk with the Lord, and I know why now because of tonight, I remember feeling like, Lord, I don't feel it in my spirit to yet, and I know there's going to be a time, but he reassured me that, you know what, Meg, you were baptized in the Spirit. That's the whole point. I mean, if you want to get baptized in the flesh, that is a beautiful thing to do. But you were baptized in the Spirit, you know? And I remember thinking, you know what, you're right, Lord. The time will come. If it's meant to happen, it will. And it did tonight. And I'll tell you what I did. I will tell you what I did. And this isn't just for the people that don't believe it. Like, this video, guys, is not for the people that just don't believe in the Lord. This video is for the people that believe in the Lord. They might even disagree with what I did tonight. But the Lord is just wanting me to, like, have full courage and full faith, because this is powerful. This is powerful what he did. I had a long day, like I was saying, with my mom's friends and my mom. It was a beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful day. We did a walk along the water. And I just felt really close to the Lord today. And I remember we saw donkeys. We went to a petting zoo. They were so cute. And I actually talked to them a little bit about how it's really cool, because when donkeys, it's one of the only animals that we know of that have a cross on its back. And as you guys know, Jesus rode in on a donkey. And I was telling them a little bit about the Lord. So there's been tiny little things that have happened today that make me think of God. And for example, even turtle doves. There was a big thing of white doves, and they were just, the sounds of them were beautiful. And as you guys know, doves represent the Holy Spirit. So I was in heaven. I was like, this is a little piece of heaven on earth. So I come home. I'm pretty chilled from the walk because I was wearing shorts. And we had dinner. We all sat together, had a really good talk. And I was kind of debating going in the hot tub because my body really wanted to, you know. But I was like, oh, it's kind of cold out, and I don't know, I don't want to get chilled, I don't want to get sick, I don't know, but something in me told me to go. And you know what that something in me was? The Lord. The Lord said, do it, I think you're really going to enjoy yourself. And I was like, okay. So I was obedient. I did that. Like I said, it even came down to my bathing suit. I had a moment of like, I don't really like this bathing suit. It doesn't fit me right now. You know, I've been losing some weight and it's a bit big on me, and I was feeling a bit insecure, but the Lord was like, just get in the hot tub. Nobody's there. So I got in. And I start praying to the Lord. I start praying to him. But before I start praying, I have my Kindle here. And I was feeling kind of tired, and I was just having a moment, really kind of sitting with the Lord. And then the Lord was like, he said to me, here, open up your Kindle. And I was like, okay. So I opened up my Kindle, and the Lord this morning told me to open up Jeremiah. Okay? So then the Lord told me to open up Jeremiah while I was in the hot tub. The Lord has been, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you're still with me, you guys will remember what I said. I said, you know, the Lord wanted me to read Jeremiah for a really, really long time, and for some reason, I just kept putting that off. We know why. It was the enemy putting it off. And I know why now. And I'm still grateful that at the end of the day it was put off, because it was for this moment. It was for me to film this video. It was for me to talk to you guys, because it was chapter 1 of Jeremiah, okay? And it is line 4 in particular, okay? It says, Jeremiah's call and first visions. The Lord gave me this message. I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb, and before you were born, I set you apart. So that being said, setting you apart means you're not going to fit in, which I've always felt like my whole life. I feel like I don't really fit in with anyone. I don't fit, you know, there's been times in friend groups that I'm like, I don't really get with you. I mean, there's been times in relationships, you know, when I was of the world, where I felt like they don't really get me. I feel like an outcast. Okay, so that's the Lord saying, you know, like, before you were born, I set you apart. I made you different for a reason, and appointed you as my prophet to the nation. So prophet, somebody that speaks of the Lord. And for the longest time, before I was of faith, when I would hear people spread the gospel, you know, because that's what it's called, talking about the Lord, there's this type of irritability you feel when you're of the world, when you hear people spread news about the Lord. You kind of think like, and this is what's so horrible. That's how you know this is real. This is genuine spiritual warfare, is because in the moment you think like, I never used to rag on those people for doing so, but when they talk about spreading the gospel, it's so important, I was thinking, why? And the reasoning for that is because this isn't just some religious reform that can bring you healing. I mean, this is something that it's life. Like, these words are life. It speaks life into us, and it helps us start living, like genuinely start living. And like I said, the truth can hurt. And so, oh, sovereign Lord, I said, I can't speak for you. I'm too young. And that's exactly how I felt for a really long time. And I also felt like I was young in my faith. I said, Lord, I feel like I'm just getting to know you. I'm too young. The Lord replied, don't say I'm too young, for you must go wherever I send you and say whatever I tell you. And don't be afraid of the people, for I will be with you and will protect you. I, the Lord, have spoken. And like I said, guys, you might hear that. If you're not someone of faith, you'd say, what do you mean God is telling you what to say or do? Like, what if he's like not telling you to do something good? Remember what I said. The Lord is good. Anything good is of the Lord. When you see a puppy, for example, and you're like, oh, it's so cute, it's so good, that's God. That's literally how the Lord the Lord created everything, including puppies. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, and it's weird. I feel like I can feel the worldly side of my brain because I know what it's like, because I never grew up of faith. And I think this is why I can speak for some people, where it's like, you know, you must go wherever I send you and say whatever I tell you. People would say, well, that's kind of controlling. Like, I don't get it. Guys, wherever the Lord sends you is where you're meant to end up. Whatever he tells you to say is of good, because he is good only. Okay? So just, you can let that go. He's so good. So good. He's not a liar. Unlike the other one we talked about. Then the Lord reached out and touched my mouth and said, look, I have put my words into your mouth, and today I appoint you to stand up against the nations and kingdoms. Some you must uproot and tear down, destroy and overthrow, and others you must build up and plant. The Lord didn't say destroy and overthrow to create chaos, to to really upset people, but he had to do that because it was necessary. There was so much corrupt evil happening, guys, like genuinely. So the reason why I'm telling you guys this about the book of Jeremiah is because he was telling me to read this book for so long. I didn't. Tonight's the night. I read the first chapter and my jaw hit the floor, and I realized the Lord, what he wants me to do, my purpose for all of this, is because, like what he said to Jeremiah, like, I appointed you as my prophet to the nations. I'm telling you to have strength and courage to do this. And yesterday, when Charlie Kirk passed away, I filmed a video because I wrote a poem, my heart on paper. I just put it out. No matter what people would say, I was very bold. I was very bold in my faith. And I felt this sense of confidence, and I felt like, you know what? There's too much evil happening. Enough is enough. I'm not going to be about it. I'm just not. Wrong chick, wrong person. I'm not going to sit by and watch it happen. I'm not going to do it anymore. I absolutely am going to speak for people. I'm going to stand up for the people that have tried to and for the others that can't. I will do everything in my power to be as godlike as possible, okay? Godlike. Okay? Remember that. If you meet somebody that is of faith and then they claim to be, I am God. Watch out for that. Keep your eyes open, okay? Watch out for that. You want to be around people that are godlike. You know what godlike is? I'll tell you. Being godlike is being honest. Being godlike is being kind. Being godlike is being humble. Being godlike is being good. That is what being being like God is like. When you're around people that are like, I am God. I am blah, blah, blah. Watch out for that, because that is already somebody who is not off to a good start. Okay, they already have it backwards. Watch out for that, and feel free to correct those people. Feel free to do it. The Lord, since we're his children, we understand that our Father is our Father, but with that being said, doesn't a father delight in his kids? He does. So he wants us to feel good about ourselves, but we're not trying to take our Father's job. No. That's not what we're here to do. So tonight, I immediately start praying, and I'm like, oh, Lord, 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 I fully understand now why I haven't read Jeremiah yet, because I took a leap of faith by posting that video yesterday on, you know, like the day Charlie Kirk passed away. I talked about him. I also talked about Irina. I talked about her too in the video, because in my poem I said, and I will never forget you, because that's an example too. That was another situation I couldn't get out of my head, engraved in me, that I didn't even consent to seeing. But you know what? I'm happy I did. Not because I'm happy to see her demise, but I'm happy I got to I had the opportunity to write that poem, and I was in such distress, and I threw her in there. And it's not like I forgot to put anything else in there, but oh my goodness, there's only so much you can put in a poem, you know? That's why as human beings, we have to give each other a bit of slack. Try to understand where our hearts lie and, you know, where our heads are at with things, right? And so this is where I might even lose some Christians, people that are of faith. When they're watching this video, they might think, she did what? Huh? This isn't traditional. Jesus told me to. When I tell you guys, I was in prayer and I said, Lord, I understand why you told me Jeremiah. I was in the hot tub. I wasn't going to get in the hot tub. And all of a sudden, in my mind, an idea of me dunking myself under the water while my hair is wet and being baptized was put on my mind. And right away, I was like, Lord, you know that usually a pastor does this. Someone has to. And he's like, since when do I follow the rules? Don't I make them? What rules did you hear that from? Did you hear it from me? Because I think we're also forgetting that the person that baptized Jesus Christ, like the fellow that baptized him, was often known as like Crazy John, because he was that passionate about the Lord. People would look at him as crazy. So would people look at John and think, oh, who's this and that? You know, is he even qualified to do this? That's how people that are caught up in religion think. Right? So the Lord, I sat there and I thought, and keep in mind, this is so out of my comfort zone to share my prayer time online, because I know how people are, but you know what? The Lord is giving me the strength. He's like, just do it. Tell them. So I did that. I talked to the Lord and I said, really? And he said, yeah, really. He's like, you know how I roll. You're ready now. You were bold yesterday and you're even bolder today. And I showed you Jeremiah. I showed you the first chapter and you read that, and right away you felt like a fire on the inside. Like I feel like my life purpose. I haven't even read all of Jeremiah yet, but this first chapter, I was like, wow, I feel like the Lord speaking directly to me, because that's exactly where I'm at. Anything I talk now, any moment I breathe and I speak, I'm not fulfilled unless I talk about truth and unless I can help other people. Like, as cheesy as it sounds, unless I can help other people or talk about God and bring light of some kind, I'm just not fulfilled anymore. I can't talk about superficial crap and think that that's good enough. Or as long as I'm awake and breathing and out of bed, I feel this boldness I have never felt before, guys. Never before. And I was already starting to get bold in my faith, you know, posting videos and talking about the Lord, but I am talking about the Lord tonight. And I'm somebody that never grew up knowing of the Lord. I'm somebody who deals with chronic illness. I'm somebody who struggles with depression and anxiety. I'm somebody that didn't think I was worthy. I'm somebody who's been heartbroken over and over and over. I'm somebody that has lost people in my life. And I'm worthy of everything. And everything I've been through, I can use to help other people. Love one another. Help one another. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. You know the saying, you can't really beat a dead horse? You know what? When it comes to the Lord, man, I will talk about it forever. And like I said in the video at some point, guys, if you guys have completely different views, if you're very passionate about something else, in my head, because of my own belief, I might think, you know, if only they called his name like once. They just prayed once. I bet that my Father would just really blow their mind. But at the same time, like I said, they could tell me something and I might learn something and I'll think, wow, you know what? I don't share the same beliefs as them, but they have a beautiful heart. What is happening? Instead of looking around and looking at the news and thinking, oh, what is happening to the world? Stop asking that question. It's silly. You know why? Because you'll be able to let that go when you believe in the Lord. You'll be able to let that go. You'll literally be able to understand what is happening in the world. Oh yeah, the devil. Yep. Okay. It is written in here. And when I tell you guys, it's not like, this doesn't have healing abilities. When I tell you guys, there's things in here that can tell you how to cope with the heaviness of the world. Like one of my favorite things that Jesus said is, if you feel like the world hates you, just know it hated me first. Beautiful, beautiful. If you think you know poetry, trust. Open up the Bible. Trust. And so I'm so happy I'm filming this video. We're 50 minutes in, almost an hour in. And I had to make it. I'm not going to crop it. I'm not going to cut it out. I'm going to post it online for everybody to see. Everyone to see. I'm a streamer. I stream video games. I love video games. I take my business very seriously. I love my business. I love the Lord more. I'm not here to talk about the Lord to make a business out of it. I'm not here for any type of gain besides just trying to bring a sense of understanding and to really try, while we're all still here, let's try to shape the world into a better place. As cheesy as it sounds, I don't care. You know what? I live for cheesiness. I live for the unimaginable. And you know who else does? The Lord. I live for miracles. I believe in love. I believe in so many things that he does. And unfortunately, I also believe in what the devil does too. But just know that since we are human beings, there's things of the spirit realm, like the devil and demons, that technically have more authority over us. But because of the Lord, and we are his children, he loves us so much that we are protected. Okay? And we have to trust that when there's evil things that happen that we can't explain, and trust as a human being, where there's so many times we're like, oh Lord, why? He understands. One of the shortest sentence, I think the shortest sentence in the Bible is Jesus wept. It didn't say Jesus got teary-eyed or Jesus wiped a quick tear. It says Jesus wept. God in human flesh himself just broke down to the ground and was weeping, okay? He gives us permission to weep when someone goes, okay? He does, absolutely. But you know what? You know what will bring you a lot of peace is just know that if life is taken by another human being, and like I said, we know why that happens, okay? People aren't born that way. It's demonic. We can't explain it. When that happens, you have to trust in your heart. You know what? I don't know now. I might never know. But how can I use this person's death as a way to impact me in the future? How can I genuinely, how can I allow such horrific acts shape the world into a better place? Because the day you were born is just as, if not more important than, the day you die is just as, if not more important than the day you were born. Because it's a legacy you're going to leave. And I think that's why there's been a lot of times, guys, Satan has wanted us to think, oh, just another number, the stats, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 2 people. Like, he's wanting us to become numb to somebody's death. He wants us to become numb and treat it as, oh, it's just a number. It's never just a number to the Lord. Those people have lives and families and a purpose. I have a purpose. I have a big purpose. So do you guys, each and every one of you. I'm not more loved by God than you are watching this video. And if you made it all the way through, I'm so excited for you. I'm stoked. You know why? Because I wish there was someone like me when I was struggling with my faith, especially in the very beginning. I thought, I can't find anyone to relate to. I don't know who to trust. I'm trying to understand who the Lord even is, but like, who do I even talk to? That's who I want to be for you guys. It's normal to have doubts. It's human. It's human to have moments of lack of faith. I have them. And I'm someone who's like this with the Lord. I have moments where I literally am like, Dad, what? Ugh. It can be draining. It's heavy. The truth hurts. It's heavy. But walk in it. Live in it. The more you start acting godlike and become obedient, the more fulfilling your life will be. Truly, I'm somebody, and like I said, I recognize my privilege. I do. This isn't, like I said, this isn't somebody who is stuck to a religious reform I was brought up in or anything. I'm somebody who has suffered in so many ways that people don't even know. I'm someone who never thought I'd be worthy of a love like this ever. I'm with a man of God, and you know what's incredible? I didn't meet my man of God, and he turned me to faith. It wasn't like that. I actually was of faith before I met him. It wasn't like all of a sudden I met him and I'm church going, Bible thumping. That's not how it worked. My relationship with the Lord was intimate. It was personal. It was just us for the first. You know why? I kept running. I was in denial. There were so many things. I was like, Lord, explain this. I couldn't grasp it. I couldn't. And there's going to be a lot of you guys that won't be able to grasp it and maybe will never choose to. And if you choose not to, know that the Lord gave us free will, and he knows whatever decision you're going to make before you do it. He already knows what you're going to do. So, to Charlie Kirk's family, to Irina's family, to the families that are being affected, that have dealt with grief, if you have had a child of yours taken from you by murder, to people that have experienced populations being wiped out, mass amounts of grief you can't understand, wars, just tons of death, people that have experienced this firsthand, and even people like me that are watching this happen, and we're consuming this daily on our phones and on the internet. Take each day as it comes. And know that there are people like me of genuine faith that don't want any pain and any suffering to happen to any one of the Lord's children, okay? If you've dealt with any kind of violence, any type of hate, any type of demonic evil you can't understand, know that you're not alone. Know that all of us are under the attack of the enemy every single day, and that you have a purpose and that you can shape the world. There's only a matter of time we have. And I'm not going to be that person that says, it could be tomorrow, I'm not here to scare anyone. We don't know. We don't know when the Lord could come back. We don't know when. But as long as we're all here together, we have to do something. We have to do something. We have to have hope. Just please, guys, look at things bigger than politics. Look at it bigger as holding a grudge against somebody. Look at it bigger than the 9 to 5 you work. And look at it bigger than money, guys. And trust me, I respect the grind and the 9 to 5. And like that's an injustice too, where we think, we're not even meant to do this, because we weren't. The Lord, and it talks about this in scripture, honors hard work. He honors our labor, enjoying the fruits of our labor. It's gotten to the point where the enemy's taken that too. We can't enjoy the fruits of our labor because the labor we put in, there's not enough fruit. Because the world revolves around this, money. Okay, so know that that isn't even of the Lord. But you know what is? His word. You know what is? Talking to each other, crying together, laughing together. That is of the Lord. Heaven is beautiful. God's going to make everything right. He already is. So if you need someone to blame for all the wickedness happening in the world, don't be quick to blame the Father. Blame the enemy, because that's exactly who he is, the enemy. And you have to ask yourself, if he's after us every single day, then that must mean we have some type of value. And that's why all of this is the way it is. I know the Lord is holding all of the people in heaven that have had their lives taken from them. I know He is. You know why? Because He's good. Remember what I said, He's good. I love you guys, and I hope that this hour-long video brought you some type of freedom and love, because it did for me just by making it alone. I love you guys, and God bless you all.